Contestant number 5, Carolyne Gathuru, are you ready?
I am ready.
Carolyne Gathuru, I will show you dust. I will show you dust, Carolyne Gathuru.
I am 14 years old. I am a first-year student in high school. I am standing in the biology lab, and we are just about to do a practical exam. Mr. Ephantus, our biology teacher, peers over the rims of his spectacles and says, I have taught biology in this school for the past 12 years, and nobody has ever scored more than 20% in this exam. Mr. Contest Chair, Toastmasters and guests, have you ever had words that have jarred your soul so much in the direction of rejecting them? Mr. Ephantus that afternoon had placed leaves all around the biology lab, and we were to walk around documenting their scientific names by genus and by species. There were all kinds of leaves. There were thin leaves. There were fat leaves. There were colored leaves. There were round leaves. There were all kinds of leaves. There was even that very soft, smooth, velvety leaf that our ancestors way back when used to wipe way back where. You know that leaf? It was there. And Mr. Ephantus that afternoon proceeded to tell us that students consider biology to be a second-class science when juxtaposed against chemistry and physics, and that he uses this exam to snap them back into reality when they fail. The last thing Mr. Ephantus told us was, go ye forth and fail. I remember my 14-year-old self looking at Mr. Ephantus and thinking, no, I do not believe what you're saying. You are not talking about me. And I felt this voice rise from the bottom of my heart to my head. And I silently looked at Mr. Ephantus and I told him, I will show you dust. Ladies and gentlemen, not only did I proceed to trounce the 20% ceiling he had placed over us, I scored 100% in that exam. I left nothing on the table. Mr. Ephantus was shocked. And that was a turning point in my life. That at 14 years old, I could listen to a voice in authority over my life, calling me to a place of non-performance and rejecting it. My life has never been the same again. Don't you think that we need to be extremely careful about the things that we say to people upon whom we have authority in their lives? Fast forward. It is 1993. I am a first-year student all over again, this time in the university. I am 19 years old. And yes, the amount of mental mathematics going on behind those cameras to guess my current age. We are standing in the science complex, and there are two gentlemen at the front of the room disputing the results of our environmental planning exam. According to them, there is no way a girl can have defeated them. You see, these two men hailed from Western Kenya, and Westerners are known for their academic prowess, so much so that they walk around with their titles preceding them. Engineer, so and so. Architect, so and so. And so when Obonyo and Magero stood in front of the class and announced to them that the only reason why I had passed was because I had had sexual relations with a lecturer, oh, I felt a Mr. Ephantus moment coming over me. I silently looked at those men and told them, I will show you dust. I merged the valedictorian in my year, the top student in my faculty, the only one with a first class honors. I left absolutely nothing on the table. I left those men in a cloud of dust. And so I ask you this evening, what is your cloud of dust moment? What are those negative voices that you must silence and silence today? Those people that tell you you're not good enough, the ones that tell you you will never make it, the ones that look at you and say, you want to do what? You know those people. All those people, the naysayers, the put-downers, the idea crashers. You will leave nothing on the table. You will look at these people and you will tell these people, I will show you dust. And then go ahead and do it because you can. You absolutely can. But the voice that we must silence and silence right this minute is the voice in our heads. That negative voice, the one that makes us second guess ourselves, that doubting voice that convinces us that we do not have what it takes, that voice that gives us fear when we should be walking in boldness and in courage, and that voice that gives us shakes and tells us we don't have what it takes to stand in front of people and deliver an impactful speech, or stand in front of the camera like this, in front of an audience like this online, and create impact. That negative voice in our heads is going today away with the negative voice in our heads. We will leave nothing on the table. So when that voice attempts to rise in your head, take a look at that voice, lift that voice, eyeball to eyeball, and tell that voice, I will show you dust. I will show you dust. Mr. Contest Chair.